You're on.
All right. And you won't be able to hear me and see me either.
I can.
Oh, okay. Hi.
You're lit up.
It is June 3rd, 4th, June 4th. This is the June 4th Omaha Linux Users Group meeting. Let's see. Linux news. I have my Fedora loaded. Anybody else?
I do.
Fedora 30? Yep.
I even tried it on a new system with EFI. Ooh.
Okay. So far, so good. I've been watching the glacial process on the CentOS
8 build.
8 build. So right now, I think we're about 4 weeks in right now. It seems to me the last one was a lot faster, but so that's not coming.
There might be something complicating the build, some dependency.
And IBM has officially swallowed Red Hat, but has said that they will chew Red Hat, but they will not swallow. So,
Or like a good, rare steak.
Yeah.
Red Hat on the E series.
Yes. So, anybody else?
It's gonna work out 520.
Let's see. Nope.
Okay.
Ken Jennings is still champion.
I know, I am so mad that James handed it over last night, but I think he handed it over to somebody worthy.
The guy has been winning just got beat it.
I know, James.
What I'm waiting now is to see how many people follow that tactic.
I know, right?
Because I think a lot of the the fact that he's a professional gambler gave him a lot of nerve.
Well, Emma, her last, on her final Jeopardy, she pulled a James. She went and she bet 20 out of 24,000.
So, okay, well, so coming up, so today we have Teale. I'm going to make
Sloterdijk.
Sloterdijk, and he's going to be talking about troubleshooting. No, that's not him. He's going to be talking about his favorite troubleshooting tools, and we all use those or need them occasionally. On July 2nd, John's going to talk about troubleshooting networking in Linux. And I have a preliminary date for Aaron in August.
You're out in August, is that correct?
I'm out on August.
Okay.
But Aaron should be here. So that gives me September, October, and November. So if you guys would like, one of you guys would like to present, I'd be happy to have you. Usually 30 minutes or so, and we have a wide range of technical expertise. So don't worry about being too simple, and don't worry about being too technical or too deep. So if you guys are interested, please contact me via the mail list or after the meeting tonight. So without any further ado, Teale.
I see you have a spacecraft on your display right
Yes, I finally found that book I was looking for, and if anybody would like a copy, just hit me afterwards and I'll put it on your thumb drive. It's basically it tells you about every sensor that's ever been launched on a public knowledge satellite between 1964 and 1999, I think. Great stuff. It tells you how it works, how much it weighs, where it's located, etc., etc. But so it's not really troubleshooting tools, though some of these tools are good for troubleshooting. We're just going to go through my tool set of all my favorite tools, example ways of using them. This goes all the way from beginner to advanced. And if you have any questions, let's make this as interactive as possible. I don't like sitting here talking without other people chiming in. All right, so a little bit about me. I'm Teale. This is my ThinkPad T440p that I got for $70 at the recycler. I've got Ubuntu 16.04. Yeah, 16.04. And I run XFCE. It's lightweight. It works great. Server image up. I don't ever do that desktop operating stuff with all the heavy, clunky, here's Amazon suggestions for you stuff. So this little thing here is called Wake. It's a little pull-down terminal. So if you're in a browser or something, you can just pull it down and work on it, pull it back up. It supports multiple tabs. So that's a very handy. It also goes full screen. Great one. And then my daily driver is Terminator. I'm sure some of you have used Terminator. Written in Python. And this one supports splitting horizontally, vertically, and broadcast. So I can run the same command.
And you can split your horizontals and your verticals.
What?
You can make a cubic corner if you want. You can split splits.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't reset it. All right. Go ahead and close out. So to start you off, I'm going to show you one of my favorite. Hey, Scott! One of my favorite tools, which is Tmux. It doesn't look like much, because you can't see on the bottom there. There we go. So mine's a custom configuration. Here we can actually see that. Gosh,
That's the max the screen is coming down.
yeah,
Might be able to adjust it down
a little bit. So this is what a default looks like. I brought it up a little bit so you can see the bottom. So Tmux is great. This is the default layout here. Control B is your hotkey. I'm sure some of you know Screen with Control A and Emacs with Control. I don't use Emacs, so I don't know. But so if you do Control B and then the question mark, it shows you all the different key bindings here, all the different little things that we can do. So we're going to go over a couple different things here. We can split the window. We can break the pane out. We can switch a client. We can make new windows, new panes. Let's see, what else do I want to do? We can resize. All right. So first off, we're going to go in and we're going to split the pane. Right. So now I've got two things here that I can jump back and forth between. I can go from the bottom one to the top one. Each one's its own shell. Right. I can also split the window like that. And I can throw this into, we can send it over into its own window, and we can jump back over to our other set here. So this is great. It's a terminal multiplexer, hence the name Tmux. So if you only have one session open and you want to make the most of it, so say you've got your man page over here and your code that you're writing over here. It's great for that. You can jump back and forth. Now, my favorite part about Tmux, and I explained this to you guys last time during drop sessions, is you can detach it. Control BD, right? And as you can see here, it says we're detached from session 0. We're going to go ahead and create a second session, a new Tmux session. I'm going to do a while true. Yeah, I can.
An awesome spelling. Well, but you didn't know it was, right? That's good.
Alright, so we've got this little program here running, and we're going to open up another man page. Alright, so this is usually how I do it. I either have logs on the bottom and whatever I'm running on the top, or I've got code that I'm writing on the right side and running it on the left so I can see the output and build it up. So I can detach from that one. So now I've got two sessions running in the background. So I can say tmux attach, right? You can do A for short, and bam, I can attach right next to it. And as you can see, it's still running. And then I can say Control B, right, parentheses, and jump over to my other session. So I have two sessions here. So now where this really comes in handy is you and Alien Vault. Yes, I own Alien Vault now. So here I am on my remote machine over SSH, right? And we'll do another one of those while true. Alright, so we've had something running, but oh no, my internet disconnected. My internet just went crazy because I met some cafe and some script kiddies over there doing a DDoS attack, right? Oh no, I just lost my connection to Alien Vault, our favorite sim appliance. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and connect right back, and I'm going to reattach to my session, and there it is still running. So if I was running my distribution upgrades and it was installing my kernel, I don't have to go and try to rebuild everything because of faulty bootloaders, right? I've had that happen way too many times, installing updates and losing a connection that tmux is just making exactly. Anybody have any questions about tmux or want to know anything else about this super awesome tool before we move on to the next?
I saw clock mode in the line settings.
Clock mode?
Yeah, I have no idea what that does.
Let's see. Clock mode. Huh?
Yeah, find your last screen. Up here.
I see it. Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Sweet.
I have no clue what time zone that is. Can we fix that?
Yeah,
Could be UTC. We're just looking by. Yeah, UTC.
Reconfigure. Reconfigure TZ data. Okay. America. Alright. Let's do it again. Hey, look, the time is right now.
It was right before.
Relatively speaking.
it's right in front of you.
Yeah, so that is tmux. So what else is cool is I might have some logs on this machine we can start looking at. Alright, here we go. Oh, by the way, this is a cool little program I made. Who wants to test their phone number? Anybody? Alright, well, I'll volunteer somebody. This is a cool little thing here. Alright, so I got a phone number from some random number today, so we'll go ahead and do that one. 615-467. XO Communications, this is a Vertex Solutions, 725 Cool Springs Boulevard, Suite 240. Yes, that's right, folks, reverse phone lookup. Yeah, and it's on JSON, so you can do anything you want with it. But no worries. CD, and if you ever want to use it, just let me know. Put you through. Alright, so here we are. This is one of the common things we do on our Linux machines is we check the log. Something's not working, we check the log. Well, first we system control, status, Apache, right? And that tells us it's running. That's always the first thing you do. And if that works, you always control curl localhost. Alright, and we get a response. So those are two of my favorite tools in Linux, system control and curl. System control allows you to get status of all the services and components of your Linux machine. You can check your file systems from there, you can check your network from there, you can check your services as we just did.
Assuming that your Apache is listening on localhost.
I don't know about you, but I usually do localhost. Now, Nginx, on the other hand, I've been known to just make it bind to a certain address. And as you can see here, there was an alien here, but we locked it up in a vault.
You install the vaults, by the way.
I know, well, that's kind of the point here, is that was how I was able to take over alienvault.com, was I misspelled the vault. They're very common misspelling, according to people. You know Alien Vault, right? It's got purchased by AT&T. Yeah. So curl's great because you can fetch information from the internet. I'm sure many of you have used it. If you're in Python, you've even got libcurl. Perl has libcurl. Windows has curl. Believe it or not, in PowerShell, you can use curl. It definitely doesn't work the way you expect it to work.
So, fun trivia about curl. Make sure that your curl is up to date. If you're doing it with certain transactions where the HTTPS or TLS, if you're not using the updated libraries, you might not be able to connect out because of the certificate authorities.
Yes, okay.
That's okay. All right, so here we go. So we've covered system control. Anybody have any questions about system control? Kernel control? Here, well, since you don't have any questions about kernel control, we'll just run kernel control. So this is a cool little system that they decided to give us to view logs because they thought binary logs was a good idea, and nobody needs to know grabs had not to go and actually search through logs. We still do it anyway. They give us this nice little utility, and as you can see, somebody's been trying to connect to my SSH.
It's in color.
Huh?
It's color.
Yes, and it is colorized. Yeah.
So have you heard the more questions of how do I get a physical log file back?
How do I get it? Well, I just cat it into a file.
Right, I know. It's just some people, when they have their scripts written,
Oh, yeah.
they don't want to rewrite their scripts.
Okay. I'm pretty sure these logs are.
A lot of times we can just do it with rsyslog because sometimes the messages file isn't there.
Wow, I never done to look at that.
It depends. Like default Fedora, there isn't a message log, which is on the other systems.
Wow, they did empty it. Wow, that's crazy.
So if you put in like rsyslog and turn on the options, that stuff usually comes back.
Okay. I just stopped using it altogether and just started using Germany.
Do you have any VPS systems like offline stuff?
This is VPS right here.
Cool. I did a presentation a few years ago where I enabled certificates with rsyslog and transmitted them securely over a network in the clear. So they were secure, so you couldn't see them.
And you did that to your log aggregator, which you forwarded to Splunk and Alien Vault? And then you forwarded that to your log aggregator, which then forwarded it to your Splunk and Alien Vault?
Sure.
Alright, so let's see, here we are in our Apache logs. Let's Teale our access logs. So Teale is a great utility, one of those things I haven't quite found a replacement for in Windows, and that's why I always have to install some form of Linux system in my Windows. But my favorite thing to do is Teale -f. You did?
Long time,
Fun.
20 years ago.
Well, so they have git
Then I
content.
got good at Windows and I feel much better.
Well, they have git content -follow, right? But the problem with that is it goes through the whole file before it starts following, and if you've got gigabytes and gigabytes of data that you can't just, right?
Especially these days,
Yeah. So here we go, we've
I don't have
got,
to deal with that. So it's what's gonna happen when I do it now.
so we're Teale -fing this log, I'm gonna curl localhost again. And there you go, you've got my curl request there. I'm sure most of you are familiar with how logs are. We've got our IP address, our timestamp, our method, what our method is requesting, and the HTTP version, response code, user agent, and size. I thought there was something there about time, but I guess that's only for my load balancers. So if we wanted to go in and well, I just used awk to grab all the IP addresses that have hit my machine over the course of this log file. So awk is a great tool for cutting up and formatting data. It allows you to select based on your fields. Here I selected that first field, which is our IP address. It's great for when you have data overload, you can condense your data down. There's another way to do that is we can do sed and we can do grep
Cut.
and cut, yeah. Haven't used cut in a very long time. So yeah, this is a cool little thing. I typed it into unique -s, so that gives me a sort of unique. I remember before I learned about -s, I would type it into unique and then sort. It's always better to do it with one. In fact, I'm sure a few years ago that would have, instead of directly awking that file, I would have catted the file into awk. I'm sure we've all done that. It's just a few extra steps. So that's that. That's a great way to find data. Here, let's see if anybody has come in from Microsoft. Ooh, the Bingbot. Oh wow, look at that, Bingbot has hit me. So that's grep. You can search for terms within your files. And that you can do that with either regular expressions, or you can do Perl compatible regular expressions, depending on what you're most compatible with. I just usually throw in a term unless I'm looking for something advanced with like anchors and backtraces. So that's another one of my favorite tools, grep. So we've covered system control, journal control, grep, and awk, and now set, right? So say I want to go in here and replace all my 404s with 200s. I'm some deep hacker, and I want the sysadmin to think that everything's just working, right? So I can say
Developers.
I can say set -I.
Is that uppercase program?
Huh?
So you do uppercase program?
200, status code 200. So I wouldn't know if somebody requested something that didn't exist because I just changed one term with another, which is what set is great for. Set is also good for cleaning data like awk. I can go there and say the first chunk of words. In this case, I can make a regex that matches IP addresses and then cut off the rest. So that's a good one. I'm known for making huge long pipes of set, grep, and awk, trying to find data that's relevant. And real quick, we're going to go back to grep. So when you're working with developers, I've learned that they want to know what happened before and after something happened. So you want to do a minus capital A for your after, and we'll say 10 lines, and a minus capital B for before, 10 lines. And so here we've got our term that matched. But here's the 10 lines after and the 10 lines before, which actually happen to have our other terms in them. Which basically shows us that they were hitting us consecutively. And surprisingly enough, they did. They actually did look for my robots.txt. That's crazy. That might be a legitimate thing, but I wonder if I can say the same thing about Google. And I'm sure you noticed I used the -I in there, so that makes it case insensitive. Because everything is case sensitive these days. Sometimes Bingbot is capital B ing, capital B O T. Other times you'll have some web crawler built in Python running in the cloud on AWS with some script kiddies scanning the web, and they'll spell it lowercase b ing, B O T. And you want to find both of those without having to type two different variations into your grep search. So here we use the -I, and honestly in life I've learned that -I has relieved headaches. You can remember that as -I as an ibuprofen. All right.
-I is an insensitive.
Insensitive.
Because that's what it stands for, is case insensitive.
Or since it relieves headaches, ibuprofen.
Oh, sure.
All right. So while we're here in Tmux, I want to show you guys a cool trick. So I just did Control B left square bracket, and you can see the line count on the right side just showed up. So with this, I can scroll through and look at my history. So way to search it. I don't have it on here. I swear there used to be a way to search it. But we're going to move on from that. So we did sed, awk, grep, system control, journal control.
Are you talking something specific or just bash? Is bash control R or reverse?
Well, that's for your last commands.
Anything in your current history, you control R and type of for.
Yeah, but I mean something from standard out. That was it. There's a shortcut somewhere where you can do your / search or your question mark search. So another cool tool that I like for reviewing logs is less. I've heard this analogy, and I'm sure many of you have heard it. Less is more, and more is less. More is for people who like Nano. Less is for people who like them. Shortcut wise. So we can actually go in there and we can less that log, and this gives us a scrollable output which we can search. I just did a reverse search. We're going to reverse search for Google. We're going to forward search for Google, and there we go, it comes in Google. This is great for handling large files. If you've got enough RAM to handle the size of the file, or if you've got some good swap enabled. It is better than opening up a full text editor like Vi.
I recently ran into a file that was too big to fit in temp for search for grepping. There is a if you can attach to some other storage for temporary space, you can only write temporary space, and so using temp, you can say somebody else can use temporary. So if I mounted an external disk or something like that to be able to do that, I can't remember the name.
Oh god, that would have come in handy some time ago. Alright, so that's less, as I said, less is more is less. And just to show you what more looks like, it's more. Doesn't even seem to want to scroll. No? Yeah, it doesn't even want to scroll. As I said, more is less.
Enter.
Oh, that's right. Enter space bar.
Control F.
What is that?
Forward. Control B goes, well, that's in less. I don't think more.
My basic commands, but, yep.
Yeah, so there's a great way to search files. Now we should get into some network stuff. So over the years, network diagnostics has changed, and I'm sure it can go on for hours and hours of all the older ways to do it, like I have config. But today we're just going to do IP. Right, so IP is our basic set of tools, so we can say IP adder, and it'll show you all of our IP addresses on this machine. As you can see, I've got Docker on here. I've got multiple IPs on my E0. I've got my local host. So that's how you go and you look at your IPs. And you can say IP route, and that'll show you your routes and what IP or what devices they'll go out of. I do have some weird thing on my machine that I've just been too lazy to take off. One of those trackers that they put on computers. What is it, CompuTrace? They said, oh, well, it's unlocked. All you have to do is install Windows. And as soon as you get on the internet, it'll disconnect it and reboot it, and it'll be gone. I'm like, yeah, but install Windows? So that's IP adder and IP route. You can always add a new IP adder. And there. Huh? I wonder if that would work. Boot up the minimal Vista disk. That 1/24 and 0, and voila! I just added an extra IP address to one of my interfaces. Because you can have as many IP addresses on an interface as you want. That's not kosher, but you can do it. I've done it plenty of times trying to figure out why DHCP isn't giving me DNS servers and stuff like that. So there's that, and then of course you can always delete it. And then 0, 2, 24.
Be careful when you delete commands, you delete one or delete the whole thing.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not using E0 right now. So that, and it's the same thing with route. You can add your routes. And so on the topic of IP spaces, I don't know about you, but somewhere when I got really big with computers, I just stopped doing math in my head. My math teacher, he always told me, you're never going to have a calculator with you at all times. Hey Siri, what's 10 plus 2? Hey Siri, what's 10 plus 2?
10 plus 2 is 12.
She knows. I wish I could find my math teacher and be like, what? But anyways, so carrying over, we have some little tool called IP calc. So if I wanted to find out what's in this range that I just did, voila, it tells me my net mask here. I like using my CIDRs, my slash numbers. It tells you your network address, your minimum host, your maximum host, and broadcast, how many hosts. I'm sure on all the tests and stuff where they ask you questions like this, they don't let you just use your computer to do this IP calc. But when you're in real life and you're trying to figure out, well, how big is this network and how many hosts are on this subnet, you can just run your IP address to that.
/19.
You want to do that one? 8,190. And then a /31, 2 addresses. Can you imagine having 2 addresses on the network? You could split a whole range of them real well.
So you keep some stuff down sometimes. How many of these 2 links talk to each other? That's it.
So that's doing with CIDR. You can also do with NetMask. Another range here.
Although it is 0 and 1.
Didn't like my NetMask there. 255, 255, 255, 220.
You doing SuperNet? That's what you're.
Huh? Alright, so that's a /24. This would be a /2018. 16. So there's 2 ways of calculating that, your CIDRs and your NetMasks, depending on where you are, what kind of network hardware you're working on, and trying to figure. This is saved me so many times trying to figure out topologies. So that's a cool thing. It doesn't really come installed. You have to install it. It's simple. Yum install ipcalc, apt-get install ipcalc. Great tool, as you can see here. It's nice because it tells you how many are on there.
And it offers the binary equivalent.
Yeah, that's also good. So another good network diagnostic tool is NetStat. Just regular running of NetStat.
Superseded with SS.
Is there a new one?
There's an IP that I config. SS is a replacement for NetStat.
Yeah. Does it have the same switching stuff?
Does it still do the similar commands? So
That was one of the easy ones to do for 2.
I don't know. That looks quite nice.
But
So just because I'm familiar with NetStat and I use it all the time,
it should take the same.
well, it did, but it's the way.
Output's a little different.
Yeah. So this is NetStat here, LNP, and that's SS LNP.
Now, yeah, simplified numbers.
I
Huh?
kind of like my port numbers lined up. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is. So LNP is probably when I get into a machine, my most common thing is do. I'm trying to secure it. It's a fresh machine. The devs hand it to me, and my first question is, "What's listening? Why did you hand me the machine?" So L is listening, N is numerical, and P is numerical port numbers. So as you can see here, I've got my SQL, SSH, Apache, and SSH on IP6. And then if we want to see my disconnections, what's up with my internet here?
It's which network are you on?
The guest network?
Yeah, that one's acting up because it's telling me it's going to take me 20 minutes to download 250 meg.
It just keeps locking my connection up here. We'll do it on my local machine here. No, because it's easier because I know somebody's trying to connect in with SSH right now. Alright, next minus NP. Let's see who's connected. Alright, so here we are, we're connected on port 22. Over SSH, it isn't scaled out my last connection. So of course when you've got machines in the cloud and you don't have the firewall up, usually on the outside, like if you're not using your internal IPs with the load balancer and a router on your VPC, you want to go in and see who's connected, because you know you've got China and Russia and the NSA. They're like, hey, what's open? What's open? Can I connect to this? Here, let's try a million different passwords for root. Which is why you don't use password-based authentication. So that's listening programs and connections. Those are the two most common things to do with NetStat. If something's not running, you'll know it because NetStat's going to tell you it's not there. Like if you're looking to see if Apache is running, so if I system control stop Apache Steve, and I do that again, I'll see nothing's listening on port 80. And of course you can always do a system control. That is Apache 2, or an Apache control status. I never installed all of that. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, it's not running. And the last one was stopped successfully. So we can go in system control start. Apache 2.
Oh, you dash L on the status.
I'm sorry?
Dash L on the status.
Okay. Another thing you can do with system control is you can just run system control by itself, and it'll give you like all the information about your system and what's running and all the different units. It's quite a lot of data, so you have to know what you're looking for. And of course, you're looking for really. I think the best thing to look for on this. Where is it?
Service.
There we go, system control status, right? And the most important piece here is the state of your machine. You've got running, optimal, and degraded. Degraded will be in red, and then of course you can go and search for your failed units and stuff like that. So when we say you just started a job with a sysadmin, you want to say, all right, what's going on and why isn't this working? Let me not bug the people who've been here forever, and let me try to find my way around this. All right, so you can just start logging into machines and doing system control status and see what's running and what's not. I know not everybody here is fans of systemd. Who here likes OpenRC? Sys5init? We're all systemd fans?
OpenRC.
OpenRC, you should have said something when I... Alright, so another fun one to do is TCP dump.
OpenRC is actually just sits on top of Sys5init.
I want to say it was a fork of Sys5init with some big heavy changes. Alright, so TCP dump, if I do that, it's going to give me a bunch of stuff because I'm over SSH. Let's go ahead and put a filter on that. TCP dump, not for 22 and not 98.160.90.10 and not for 22. Okay, let's just say not for 22. Alright, so here's everybody hitting my machine that's not me over SSH. Let's go ahead and start Netcat. So Netcat is another one of my favorite tools that I like to use, and we're going to list them on port 3029. It's random port, right? And we're gonna go here and we're gonna say that Teale is awesome. NC alien ball.com 30391. Put some questions. Echo, yes, you're right, Echo. Again. And voila. So here we can, you know what, I just did it wrong here. Let's just go here. So with, so as we know, there's different kinds of data. You can look at hex data, you can look at binary data, you can look at SD data. So what we want to do is here, we can see it's giving us the gist of this data here. You can see it's trying to do a lookup to find out who is what. It looks like it's doing reverse lookups here. We can actually say, and for numeric addresses. And that'll stop that whole DNS lookup. But then we can also say -A for ASCII, right? And then, so we'll go ahead and do that again. And here we go. See, there's my network traffic that says Teale is awesome. Looks like it has a little bit of padding on it too. Okay, so that's over TCP. It does the full handshake. That's what all these other packets here are. Great. So if you so say you're trying to diagnose the application talking to its backend server or database being talked to, something like that, you can just TCP dump and listen to that specific thing. So if I did TCP dump port 2306, which is MySQL. And so MySQL page. It's not actually talking to whatever localhost. 306. Network just dropped again. Does it have burst control or something? I think I just snowballed data and it kept me out.
Well, I don't control the network.
No.
If you want, why don't you switch Wi-Fi networks real quick? Go to AIM Brain Exchange. There isn't any restriction on that. It's gone. It'll probably close out another session.
Well, it's in T-Mox, which is fine.
Yeah, but it should still show up as a bid. Or look at what your sessions are on the machine and kill your other sessions. You know, like killing Bash. Who? Just TCP. Do a W or a O on your system.
And that's an old process there.
You got your one that's been running since February 10th.
I know, that's
Top since February 10th, it's probably in your T-Mox. Because the batches are probably related to that process. There used to be a program, was it PS3? That would show your interconnected processes and stuff.
Oh, wow. God, this is right where I left it off at.
Are we supposed to look at that?
it's whatever. I was, so this is a Python script that I made for a web crawler. I found this website that's got all these cool fractals, like mathematical art, and I decided to make a script that crawls it and downloads anything that's a .jpeg gets linked to. It worked great. I've got a huge folder full of these things now. But I'm trying to figure out how to get it to work on other websites now that I've gotten what I want. I want to expand on that. So yeah, let's jump over to this real quick. So this is Watch. Watch is a really cool program because it allows you to run a command every output or every interval. So here I am running netstat minus np and heading that minus n and doing a ps aux, showing the last 15 things, which is nice. So here basically who's connecting, what's running. And it updates every 2 seconds. So Watch is a very nifty program for doing something simple like that. I'm sure you can come up with 1,000,001 ways to use it. It's quite handy.
I use it quite a bit when I'm transferring a large file and I need to know how much it's transferred and everything, so we'll just ls it.
Yeah, that's it.
The file size.
Nothing, but like I can switch. Alright, so back to TCP now. So I showed you how to do ASCII output. I showed you how to do netcat for sending and listening. Does anybody want me to go into more in-depth talk on netcat? Has anybody used netcat before? Yeah.
I mean, I've used it in the past, but it's not something I have to use a lot.
Yeah. Nmap works too. Yeah, so like I can netcat localhost 306, and I should be able to. There we go. We're talking right to my SQL server, my SQL server. Of course, there's not really much you can do with that. It's probably going to take me out in like half a second because I don't really know how to talk that protocol. I think you can do it
Use port 25 or something.
I don't think I have anything listening on. Yeah, I've got 2280 from here. Into get slash. Into netcat localhost. Yeah, it didn't like my request, but as you can see, I just talked to the server using some half-baked protocol of HTTP, and it's saying that I sent the request that it didn't like. HTTP, it did it right. HTTP 1.1. Does it not like that it was on a second line?
Yeah, something on that pattern, so you have to say slash enter.
It's a shrug.
400 bed request. Content length is 301. Here, let's cache controls system controls cache. So I can net cat minus L80 and curl and c /s local. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's a whole bunch of other stuff on there. So, system control start. Apache 2. And let's say echo. Into even stealing a thing, yeah, it's not perfect, but it does something. It tells you it's alive and it's taking requests. If Apache tone processing some crazy large buffer overflow that somebody tried to DDoS you with, if you don't even respond. So that's Netcat. Netcat can, I don't know if you noticed, but I was using it interchangeably between Netcat and NC. Same thing, different name. So that's another one of my favorite tools. So let's see, we did IP, Netstat, Netcat, TCP dump, T-Shark. T-Shark in here? No. T-Shark. So T-Shark is the command line version of Wireshark. I'm sure everybody here has used Wireshark, right? Mm-hmm. Let's hear some examples of things you've listened to with Wireshark. Anybody?
A lot of noise on my network.
So
Your email conversation.
My email conversation, DHCP traffic, noise. Anybody ever listen to the USB mouse?
That sounds cool. Try it.
Yeah, I found that the other day when I was actually playing with Wireshark. Alright, so T-Shark.
We were using Wireshark to narrow down a network issue that turned out to be one of the secretaries decided to fund her phone in. And the Cisco phones have 2 ports in the back. So both ports are plugged into the switches. Created a loop.
Why did your Cisco automatically shut that off? That's the why did your Cisco switch on?
It's not the one switch. No. No. It's not that big of an environment.
Okay.
No,
So this is T-Shark. This is kind of like TCP dump, but it's in a fancy wrapper where they're taking PCAP and actually doing something with it. T-Shark's more low level. It does protocol decoding, so you can know what the packets are. And this one goes a lot more into the protocol decoding. As you can see, my machine is sitting here trying to find the time server. Oh, it's 7:30 already, insane. It's showing us our, so this T-Shark you can output to files that are compatible with Wireshark. I know I don't really care for GUI apps, so that's why I know about T-Shark. I haven't used T-Shark in years. TCP dump does everything I need to do. TCP dump uses the same filters as Wireshark. It's all about getting the quotes right and putting it in parentheses. So you can say host this and port that, and protocol not this, on interface XYZ. The same stuff works with T-Shark. Looks like my machine's still looking for some time server. It's nice that it wants to keep up with time. As soon as I log into a wireless connection, it updates my time and the screensaver comes on. So maybe I have to hit that right somewhere. So that's T-Shark. Fun little thing. Let me disconnect from the.
Do you always put your laptop to sleep, or did you shut it off?
I power it off. Yeah. Exit. Let's disconnect. So I use Wicked. If anybody here has used Wicked, it's kind of old, but it works great. I'll disconnect. So here's another cool thing you can do with TCP dump. TCP dump L W. There's IWP.
business space.
So this is a cool feature of TCP dump. I'm sitting here listening directly to the wireless radio. You can see all the networks around me, like there's AIM Brain Exchange there. Let's see.
One people.
AIM Exchange, guys. This is cool. Like so you can actually parse this data using like Logstash and throw it in Kibana. And if you get like a GPS module that's also throwing in Kibana at the same time, and people have done that doing war driving to make like heat maps of networks around the city. I saw a DEF CON talk where somebody did that, so it's pretty fun. I don't think he was using TCP dump to do it, but with all this huge, massive amount of data, I mean, you've got your DB, you've got your what channel you're on, you get your SSID. And that's really all you need, that and some GPS coordinates for each one. You can pump anything into Kibana. Who here has used Kibana? One? That's it?
What's that?
So have you used Elasticsearch? Just one? So Elasticsearch is a big NoSQL database that you can just pump tons of data into. Either web logs or this kind of data. You can pump any data into it, and it's expandable, it's elastic. You can put it on as many nodes and make it as fast as you want. But Kibana gives you a search interface on top of it. So you can make search queries into that data, you can find correlations into that data, you can make graphs of that data. And so one of the visualization types they have is a map. Right? So if you have the GPS coordinates, it will plot that spot on a map, and the more hits you have of that, whatever that data point is, so like, say somebody's requesting slash from your web server, right? You're gonna get a lot of those, because that's the first thing in the hits. So you're gonna, if it were visualizing it, that would be your red. Whereas slash XYZ, TTYZ, X, some hidden page is gonna be like a really dark green, because only one or two people know that one. So it's a great way of visualizing your data. You can make dashboards for your visually stimulated employees. So if you've got marketing, they don't want to see blogs. They don't know what any of that means. They want to see what's our most popular product, what's our least popular product. When the bots come, what are they looking for? How do we deter them? Stuff like that. I'm sure somebody here would love to get an elk talk one day, right? You should sign up. What did we say, September? Yeah, you should give an elk talk for September. Me? I give too many talks.
No, you can't. There's no such thing.
All right. So that's a good one. So here, who here knows how to digest these dBms?
Decibel meters?
Yes.
Probably Eric wrote them.
Okay.
Since he's done the software fine radio.
All right, well, so what I've learned is that negative 35 means you're right up against the access point, and negative 78 to 85 or anything lower than that, you're going to be having lots of signal problems. So basically anything between negative 35 and negative 75 is an ideal signal. So this is great for when you're trying to diagnose when the wife calls and says, hey, I'm down in the basement and I'm not getting anything. You can just run this and see, well, how strong is the signal? Or you can look into your wireless GUI, if you like it. I have your SDR. So that's another cool tool. How much time do we have?
Probably the last tool.
Last tool? Okay. Let me think of what I want to be. But before we go on to the last tool, does anybody know about the optional menu in SSH? So check this.
That's a base dash.
No. But that is nice for diagnosing why something's not connecting. No, tilde C. SSH. Alright, so tilde question mark tells you how to use the little menu. So you just put a new line and you can do this. So say you start your SSH connection, you're super deep into whatever you're doing, and you decide, hey, I need to forward a port. Alright, so with this one, you can open up the command line right there. Alright, and you can say -L 80 on 8,000 localhost 80. Right? So now with that forwarded, I can hit did I do it backwards? Where did it go? I'm back on the tilde menu. Tilde dot breaks your connection. So if you just need to jump out of SSH, you don't care what's going on, tilde dot. As you can see here, I just dropped my connection completely. So like if you're running something and it gets stuck, and you need to just break out, or if your network disconnects and reconnects and you're stuck at a screen, you can just drop out with the tilde dot. Oh, yeah, that's why I did it straight to 80. C minus capital L 8,000 localhost. Voila. And with that, I was just able to annex on a port forward without disconnecting and reconnecting and adding the -L option to my SSH. And with that, I was able to forward port 80 from my web server down to my local machine. Great way for getting around firewalls. -R, you can do the reverse. So if you have a port open on your local machine, you can push it up to your remote machine. So like if you've got, say, your FTP server on here, but you don't want anybody else to be able to connect to it, but you need to move something, I would just use rsync, but it's theoretical purpose, right? You can forward that port 21 up. Actually, it wouldn't work because of the whole dynamic sector port on that. But and you'd be able to hit it from your remote machine on your local machine.
Used to do that with Squid.
Yeah, Squid is a great example
So
of
you
that.
can
And it's
use a
a
proxy
nice,
at home to hit stuff out if it was blocked. If you're
you know, I just find myself using SSH with -D and just setting up stocks over that.
yeah, same thing.
So final tool of the day, we're gonna go over. I had it for a second there. Oh, rsync, my favorite tool for backups. So say you have a folder here. We're going to downloads, right? I don't really know what's in there, but we've got stuff on there, right? So I can make a new directory called downloads.
Can you raise it up just there?
Here. So I just made a new directory called downloads 2, and I can say rsync and AV. That should be good enough. Downloads to downloads 2, and that copies everything from one directory to the other. Now you can do that over rsync D, or you can do that over SSH for remote machines. Did he just leave us? Oh, no.
I think you might have called it broke.
Yeah, it looks like it's.
Don't take it personally.
I won't.
He had a look of purpose, so that would probably work.
So that's rsync. Rsync is great. You can run it on cron jobs. There's something I found that's built on rsync but isn't quite rsync. You can find it on GitHub. It's called rdip backup. So it looks at the diffs and it actually makes deltas of your backups. So that way you're not just constantly overwriting your backup. Great for backing up logs, web servers, content servers. Yeah, we're gonna kill that off because that's an ISO file and that can take a while. Yeah. So anybody have any questions?
That's awesome stuff.
What was that first terminal that you used to pull it down?
That is called Wake.
Wake.
G-U-A-C. Like Quake.
Oh,
Like Quake's console, you used to be able to.
There's like 3 or 4.
And it's cool because like, so if I jump over to a different window, I can still pull it down. Pull it down. I'm gonna do, not window, desktop, if I go to a different desktop. Yeah. So, yeah, once again, I'm Teale, and there's some of my tools. I've got a whole bunch of other tools, but I figured these would be the ones that would be the most relevant to y'all's daily life.
All right. Woohoo! Right, are we still on?
That's the one. You want me to get it?
No, not yet. Okay, next.
Terminal drops down from top.
Okay, thanks for watching tonight. Next meeting is Tuesday, July 2nd. I think.
Yes.
Tuesday, July 2nd, what is it?
That's announced.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
Maybe.
This is Saturday.
I only have a calendar.
Hey Siri, what is the date of the first Tuesday of next month?
Yes, Tuesday is the second.
Second, yes, Siri, just let
There's
us
a little command line tool.
Oh, well, Siri also answered it. She's brilliant.
You just have to say cow. July 2019, and it'll show it on your turn. Cow. Okay, I'm shutting the broadcast down. Wave goodbye, Teale.
Adios.